Hey there and konnichiwa. Welcome to a new video on my channel. Today we will be talking about how to distinguish a fake booster box from a real one. As an example, I have my North American unlimited booster box from Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon from 2002, and as you can see, it's a very clean box, so if you're in the market for one of these, you can use this box as a reference. So last week an extremely good fake of a vintage Pokemon Neo Genesis booster box appeared. It was unboxed by PokeRevs, who is a YouTuber doing live streams of his box openings of Pokemon cards. I will put a link up here. It was so well done that even after opening the first packs, it was first unsure whether the cards are real or not, which is actually very scary. And until yet, I haven't seen anything comparable in YuGiOh yet, but as prices go up, people will try to fake them as well, I'm pretty sure. One thing I want to shout out at this point is also Orica cards. Orica cards, maybe you've heard about them already. These are fan-made cards, which look extremely good but are not from Konami, and therefore aren't tournament legal and also not worth any money, of course. And their only purpose is for people who cannot afford real ones and just want to have a cheap alternative, which is perfectly fine. But personally, I'm not a big fan of Oricas because I can imagine people are already getting scammed because they might be new to Yu-Gi-Oh! Or returning and cannot tell the differences. But well, that's a topic for another video. At the same time, I'm making this video, a lot of people started investing in sealed product. Literally since March or April of 2020, the Yu-Gi-Oh market is booming, and I wanted to make this video to show you an example of a real box and also tell you some general important things to know when buying a sealed vintage box of Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon boxes. So let's start with the foiling. As you can see here, an unopened booster box comes with a foil. The foil is wrapped in the whole box without any flows or holes, and if the box you want to buy has no such foils, it's basically worthless. Why? Because people might have opened it and swapped the packs inside. There's of course a chance that the box actually is real and perfectly good on the inside, but there is no way to tell without opening the packs, which would destroy the value and would get rid of the whole purpose of buying these boxes as an investment, right? So first step, reach out to the seller, get some nice pictures, preferably videos before you buy, and check whether the box is fully wrapped with a foil or not. One thing to note is if a box has partially ripped foil, it might still be okay to buy it if you want to take a risk, but generally I would stay away from these boxes because the value is much lower on these boxes. Maybe kind of like if you compare a PSA 8 or 9 to a PSA 10, the prices are really different. Even if you compare 9s and 10s, 10s are sometimes even double the price of a 9. So keep that in mind if you buy a damaged box. Maybe if it's just a small spot on the back, I would be fine buying one, a damaged one. But in terms of investing and especially for sealed collectors, the condition of the foil is as important as the box itself. This is my opinion though, so maybe somebody is not so much about the foiling, but for me personally, I think the foiling is very important for a vintage box. Okay, so after checking for the foils, there is actually one more thing regarding the foil. The issue here is called resealing. Resealing means that a box was carefully opened by a bad person, filled with random cards or packs, and then resealed. Such a box can be very hard to identify as fake, and is also what happened to PokeRevs, right? The main issue here is that the box itself might not even be fake. It was opened, refilled with fake packs, and then carefully resealed. And in such cases, there's only one thing you can do, and you should always do it: research. But what exactly do I mean by research? So back then, when Wizard of the Coast was making booster boxes for Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and so on, they used a specific method to seal the booster boxes. And the way how the seals were made vary by country and also by time. This means you have to find people, for example on YouTube, opening real boxes, or find old forum threads, go through old Reddit posts and find pictures of people showing their sealed boxes. And I know this is a very difficult task, because most of the time the YouTubers who do the openings, their purpose was not to show you how the seal looks, right? They want to do an opening of the box, so you will probably not find a video where the person shows you different angles of the box in order for you to check the foiling, because this was not the purpose of the video. But of course that's what you have to do before investing thousands of euros in a booster box, right? Okay, on to the next point, the box itself. Sometimes people try to recreate and fake the whole box itself. In this case, it's way easier to distinguish a real from a fake box, because there's always something off-centered, maybe misprinted, blurred, and so on. So what you can do is check for the images, on the box, for example the Exodia head, or symbols, for example the Konami symbol, and especially the fonts of the letters, and compare them to the fonts of a real box. If you have them side by side, you can pretty easily tell whether it's fake or not. Also coloring can be an indicator of a fake box, but coloring probably not so much, because sometimes if ink was low, it might be a little different from the coloring. So color is maybe not the best indicator, but it can of course be. If the color is very different, it's also an indicator. And lastly, if you're still unsure whether it's real or not, you should also check the spacing. So what do I mean by spacing? By spacing I mean the gaps between certain symbols or letters. Check for all the mentioned indicators, but again make sure that you actually compare your box with a box coming from the same region and the same time, of course. Because if you compare, for example, a first edition booster box with an unlimited box, it might be that the factory changed maybe some foiling patterns during the years, and there might actually be some differences. So if you're if you want to buy an unlimited booster box of Legend of Blue Eyes, for example, from North America, you can take my video as a reference. Okay, so in the end I want to show you two more boxes I own, and to demonstrate you how they look. I can guarantee that these are real boxes, because I bought all of my boxes from a very knowledgeable person, and he or she is also running a card shop here in Germany. So first of all, I have a German unlimited booster box of Metal Raiders, the second set of Yu-Gi-Oh! And as you can see, it has a completely different foiling compared to the LOB box, for example. Also the feel is different, but still it's a real box, and this is essentially what this video is about. There is multiple ways boxes were sealed back then in the factory, and again it varies on region and time. And if you look here on the sides, the German boxes had little holes, and this is not an error in the foiling as I described to you above. And this is just a common thing which happened to European boxes. And this is not because it's opened or resealed. It's just an error in the factory. I think it was back then, when they sealed, they actually opened on the sides, but at the same time it's an indicator to distinguish boxes which are actually from the time or not. So if you have a completely wrapped European unlimited booster box of Metal Raiders, this might actually be the fake. My final example for today is this Rise of Destiny booster box. For a side note, Rise of Destiny was only made in first edition, so if you have an unlimited box, it's definitely fake as far as I know. Let me know if I'm wrong. And also worth telling you is probably that the special editions, which started with Invasion of Chaos, were usually always unlimited packs inside, but for Rise of Destiny it's also first edition, so unlimited Rise of Destiny is not that common. At least in Europe I haven't seen them. Maybe there were some in America, but as far as I know, only first edition exists. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. Please leave a like, subscribe and click that little bell icon. I hope I could help you with this video, and let me know if I missed something or you have more questions about these displays. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.